Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 in leadership course. So first week down, good job. So far so good and all that. Got a little picture up here of St. Louis. Actually, I just got this picture from an article I found that I'm going to mention to you guys here in a second. But anyway, St. Louis Arch. Let's get in here. First, so quick review of last week, and then I'll go into this upcoming week real quick. Last week we had the discussion and homework. Homework was the finding an article. From those of you the ones that have been submitted and that I've seen, good work there. Just a reminder, make sure when you're doing papers, sometimes it's not mentioned, but uh, they're supposed to be in Times Roman 12-point font, double space. So that's the format of the pages and papers and stuff. But anyway, so like I say, from ones I've seen, good analysis. The discussions, again, very good interaction and discussion. So not a whole lot to go over there. So I'm just going to jump up here to week 2. Week 2, you have 4 chapters. Or 3 chapters, 4, 5, and 6. And so what we're covering, chapter 4 covers strategic planning. Uh, and I'll say I know there's a lot of information being thrown at you in a short period of time. I do emphasize reviewing slides. I mean, you still need to read your text and everything, but slides have a lot of the info and have the short version of a lot of the information, including like definitions, terminology, and concepts. So when you go in strategic planning, you're going to find things like the definitions of what it is, what is planning. A lot of us may have our own definitions, but when you're doing coursework like this, also you need to make sure you're answering questions based on what the you know, technical part is. Things like planning process, okay, so there's 6 steps in a planning process, and here they are. So, those are types of things you need to look at and kind of, get an idea in your head on, how that is. And it goes through each one there. So, okay, and then the next chapter 5, has to do with entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship and different things like that. Short version, it's people who, go on their own to come up with ideas. They use Bill Gates, Paul Allen here, Steve Jobs, and so forth. So there's a lot of examples. Facebook, Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy. So there's lots of examples. Entrepreneurship, and depending on what your personal goals are, I mean, it's not for everybody, but if it's something you are wanting to do, there's a lot of resources out there, a lot of examples. Um, they're not necessarily lucrative always, but if it's something you just like doing, there you go. That's the other thing, and that has to do either with entrepreneur or just a certain career field you want to go after. If it's something you like doing, regardless of whether it's very lucrative or it's just you make a living, um, that's the thing. Finding something you like doing. So, and with that, I mean, so I found an article. Um, Yeah, and so St. Louis, and the reason I bring this up is because sometimes I listen to the local radio station here in St. Louis, and St. Louis, I was trying to find an article. I mean, one of the things they mentioned on the radio about a week ago was how St. Louis was the #1 entrepreneur spot in the country. So I couldn't find that article, but here's another one that just mentioned some things. And there's another. And then there's this website here about Innovate St. Louis, which has got to do with all the innovation, entrepreneurial stuff that's going on here and different sites and resources. So there's lots of information out there, but there's also a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurship. So people want to do their own. Uh, all right. So where was I? Okay. So that was on chapter 6, organizing. Again, more lots of other. Uh, different types of approaches to things. I mean, we all um, have our own methods, or we think we have our own methods of how we would organize something, but come to find out, there's people who've been doing it a long time, and by lessons learned, you figure out better ways to do things. And so when you get in here into how things are structured, how it all works, There's different ways to do things, and there's a textbook way in case you come across questions in a quiz or exam or anything, or even in a discussion forum. We're bringing up the discussion here, week 2 discussion. This one's always good because lots of people have varying views of what this statement means. So there's no wrong view, and that's part of why we do the discussions, is so people can get different views and opinions from each other and learn different things from each other. So that's the good part there. Then the homework, every week, you got your homework here, but this one always ends up being interesting because I know not everybody watches the videos, for one, but every course will have somebody, maybe more than one, that will answer these 3 questions, but they will not give the textbook answers to them. They will give their own personal answers, which are totally different than what we're talking about in here. So that's just a hint. High involvement has nothing to do with me as a person just being involved. There's a different answer for that. So that's when I say pay attention to text, terminology and definitions and concepts and all these different things, because a definition for one thing is very different. Same word might be totally different for something else. Like the word cool, has 2 different meanings, right? I guess, anyway, that was that and that. So okay, so that was the homework. Presentations, discussion, home, and your quiz. Okay, so that's it. Try to keep it short here for you, but as always, from what I've seen so far, everybody's doing good. I think everybody's in the discussions. A few of you are lagging behind on some other stuff, but try not to fall behind. These are short, 5-week sessions, so try and keep up with it. If you got questions or anything at any time, I'll use the inbox. That works real well. You can also call or text out my phone, phone number right there. And the only other thing I got is my test question. I'm gonna mix it up this time. Some of you, I do the test question in case someone fibs me about watching the video. So this is a picture. You might notice this right here. And this right there is probably someone you know. So anyway, that was it. There's your test question. If you do get in the discussion, you reply to this post and you mention what that was. So, all right, I'll leave you alone. You guys have a great week. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll see you next time. Take care.